Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on Sleeping Giant in a 3-point domination game, and I'm playing in the Loyang, the tier 8 Pan-Asian DD. So whilst we're travelling towards the Bravo cap, I thought we might have a look at the commander skills for those of you who are interested. Obviously we need to use preventative maintenance, last stand, and survivability expert is a must here with this commander. He gets plus 400 per tier. Concealment expert, of course, radio location, fill the tubes on this one, and another enhanced skill of Darong's pyrotechnician gives a 1.5% chance of causing fire. So I've turn the boat in the cap, and I'm going to reverse back in and hopefully get stern onto any potential incoming torpedoes that we might have here. Always a really good idea to do this. Just straighten her up a little bit. And I noticed the CV's searching, so I think he's coming in for a drop in my location, so I'm not going to risk it, smoke up straight away. And I'm thinking there might be some enemy ships travelling towards the Alpha cap on the inside. So I sent some torpedoes, and yeah, I've got a torp heading straight for my stern. I accelerate away just in time, and just managed to avoid that one. That was quite close. And objective achieved. We've taken the Bravo cap without too much trouble. So the idea now is to support my Friesland, the tier 9 DD, in Charlie cap. The enemy have got a Miyoko and a Z31 in there, so I can probably add my Hydro to the mix. I mean, the Loyang has got a fantastic long duration 5km Hydro, so if I can tuck myself in behind this little spur island just inside the Charlie cap, that'll certainly help our team to understand where the closer enemy ships are. So that's the plan anyway. So I'm just going to tuck myself in close behind the island, and I noticed there's also the Z31 just patrolling around the edge of the cap circle, and I'm close enough to proximity spot the Miyoko, which is pretty handy for our team. So hopefully they'll be able to deal with him. I mean, he's on really low health. I'm getting dropped by the CV. But apart from that, this is a really good position if you want to stay safe in a DD on this cap. And it's been useful many times for me. So now it's just a matter of waiting out the time, and hopefully we can now get the Charlie cap, which would be fantastic. And then we can accelerate into a really solid points game. However, I've just moved forward at the wrong time and narrowly missed getting torpedoed again. So again, I don't know, that was probably lucky that I saw them in time, really. And I know that their Z31's around, and I'll just get some torpedoes away. Hopefully we can do something with those. We'll see. And look at that, Z31 sails straight into the torpedoes. Oh god, I'm glad I'm not him. Unfortunate. We're going to get the cap in 5 seconds, so that's great. So we have 2 caps, the enemy have 0 caps at this point. And it's a really good start to the game, is this. Now, the Leon seems to be pushing in, so I'll just add a little bit of HE to the mix. I mean, he's getting targeted quite heavily, I think. Although there's a couple of enemy on the far flank to the east there, so they could be an issue in the future. But I mean, there's nobody going for the caps on the enemy team. The Yagumo is nowhere near the cap, and I think the Leon's taking it into his hands to try and do something about it. Because at this point, he's probably getting quite frustrated, I would imagine. So he's coming in. He's going to try and do something about the cap. I mean, I don't quite know exactly what he's going to achieve in a BB. But I can understand his frustration, certainly. So my plan is to get a little bit closer and get some torpedoes into this guy if I can. So I manoeuvre behind this smaller island in the middle of the cap circle. And the plan is to reverse out and manoeuvre in such a way so as to get the torps away without being spotted, hopefully. And I can do that because the Leon's gone behind the opposite island. So now I just need to time this torp end. And he's reversing back, so there's no chance he's going to escape that. Yeah, the guys are now on the enemy team, and I think it's Brindisi out on the flank. They're starting to loop back in by the look of it. But, you know, we've got this cap well secured. We've had it for a while now. So there's me, the Friesland, Italian BB, St. Louis coming in. So there's tons of support here. And the enemy have not attempted to take back Bravo cap. In my mind, is a huge mistake. I mean, they could have had some points ticking there. So all we need to do now is just secure the area, really. And I decide just to start a bit of pew-pew with the guns. I know they've got an Izumo hiding behind an island in D7, D8. Their two flanking ships have decided they don't want to push in, and they've turned round and run away. So nothing unusual there, typical tactics. So I decide to just assess the situation, and I'm thinking, you know what, I could set this Izumo on fire probably, and just add a little bit of my HE to the mix. Nothing else to do. I mean, there's nothing else in range of my guns really, apart from these BBs at this side, and I do manage to get a fire. The enemy are well in control of the Alpha cap, and they've got a DD coming into the Bravo cap now. But you know, it's 10 minutes into the game, and I think they'll struggle now to gain points. In the meantime, I'm just keeping up the fire on the Izumo, and he's burning nicely, which is great. Unfortunately, the other BB there is just out of range, I think, but I'll try and get a couple of shots into it. And yeah, managed to burn down that Izumo, which is fine. Now, the enemy DD in Bravo cap could potentially be a problem. A lot of our ships have kind of kited away again, and they're sort of chasing ships on the flank and not really being much use, the way I see it. So my Friesland's quite sort of isolated there, up in the northwest of the Charlie Cap, so I'm just going to come back round the side of this island, and I'm going to try and support him, because he's got a heavy cruiser coming towards him with a DD as well. So, and he's not on high health either. He's only got about a third of his health left, and he's taking incoming fire. So I'm thinking I could at least try and help the guy and maybe do something about this. I mean, at this point, the Yaguma on the enemy team hasn't been seen for a while, so I'm conscious that he could be around somewhere, but no idea where he could be. I mean, the RPF kind of points sort of north, east. I mean, that's going to be the nearest known position of this DD that's round in the corner. So I've sent some torpedoes in his general direction to try and catch him out, and I'm going to open up with guns before he rounds the island. And I do manage to catch him with one torpedo, which is fine. And he shoots at me, but I'm shooting back, and so's our Friesland. But unfortunately, the enemy kills our Friesland. But I get revenge and take him out. So I think now my course of action is go back to Bravo Cap, retake that, and then decide from there, you know, what's the best course of action. I mean, it's difficult to know exactly where the enemy are. I mean, the RPF keeps flicking north, but I have a feeling that's where their carrier is still. I don't think he's moved since the beginning of the game, as most carriers don't. They don't need to, do they? So there's a good chance he's up there. So I could, you know, if needs be, take the Bravo Cap and then go into Alpha and secure the game in that way, you know, quite easily. Probably don't need to do that though. So I'll just drive it to the Bravo Cap, and it'd be nice to get some eyes on the Yaguma, to be honest. If we could take their DD out. Oh, okay, he's just popped up on the eastern flank, travelling towards our BBs, which makes kind of sense. Although, you know, he's not really done much work for his team. So in my estimation, that was bad play by that guy. He should have been contesting these caps. He's a tier 9 DD after all, you know, and he's got great stealth. So he could have done something about this. Anyhow, I'm getting attacked by the carrier, and turn the AA on. And the cap will be mine if he doesn't reset in a few seconds, which is good. And I just managed to get the cap there before those rocket planes hit me, for very little damage, I might add, which is great, you know. I think it's become a lot more difficult for CVs to hit DDs with the new patch. I wouldn't know for sure, but that's what I've been told. I don't play CVs, so the plan now is to drive straight through the middle of these torpedoes, and as I guessed at the time, they didn't arm. So again, I've got away with taking very little damage there. And at this point, the guy's just going to hound me, so the only course of action for me now is to find where this CV is and deal with him. Now, the problem with this is, okay, that he can spot me forever, probably drop me forever, and it's a German CV. So you know what that means, it's got decent secondary guns. So if I push him too hard, he can do some pretty severe damage with his secondary guns. I mean, if he's spec for them, I probably won't last very long at all, but hopefully I can get a bit of a jump on him. And yeah, he's moving away. I mean, that's that's the only thing he can do, really. And obviously he carries on dropping me, but I'll just drive into the CV now. Still got quite a bit of health. And I just want to get a little bit closer. And he's turning every which way, but I've got a feeling that he's going to turn back north to try, in an attempt to try and get away from the torpedoes. So I'm going to get close enough to make sure, you know, that at least I'm going to hit him with some torpedoes. And sure enough, as predicted, he does make a hard turn to the left. Yep, just keeping up the fire with the guns. And yeah, 2 torpedo hits, 3 torpedo hits, and that's the game. So yeah, Kraken unleashed, 100k damage, 14 aircraft shot down, 8 torp hits, 2,958 base XP, which is fantastic. Really happy with that. And that's the hit list. So most of the damage done to the CV at the end of the game, but it was all about controlling the map really here. And as always guys, thanks very much for watching. Catch you later. Bye bye.